I met a gypsy.
When you end up having the painkiller problems that you had, is that ultimately what ruined your career?
Yeah, yes and no. I was a big part of it, but the problem with my back is it's just chronic pain, and
Do you still have it?
yeah, it's not as bad because what I had to do is it's a small surgery. They don't put you under or anything, but they go in and they cauterize the nerves, so they burn them basically. Right? So I had to get it done 3 or 4 times, I think. And the doctor told me like every time we cauterize them, they grow back, right? But after doing it enough time, they might not grow all the way back. So at one point, you won't have to do it again anymore, right? So, but yeah, like even even with narcotics, I had to stop racing. Like I got to the point where I think it was at Portugal in 2004, that same year, where I just had to quit halfway through the moto, and told Mitch like I can't do it anymore. So yeah, that really sucked. And the problem with narcotics too, like narcotics are so bad. They're such a bad. I don't know how it is now in the sport if people talk about it more, but I feel like it's very important that racers are aware, like fully aware of the dangers of narcotics. I know now
What were you on?
I was on Norco, 10 milligrams.
Yes, I've had a Norco. Yeah.
Which is way stronger than Vicodin.
Yeah.
And I was taking 7 or 8 a day.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was bad. And the problem with narcotics is that it completely removes the ability for your body to fight against the pain itself.
On its own.
Yeah, on its own, right? So the more you take, the worse it gets, right? It's a very vicious circle. So, and back then they would give it away like fucking candy.
I had a ex-girlfriend and her brother used to just fucking take him for fun all the time. I'd never heard of it. He's like, he'd come, he actually lived with us for a while, and he was just fucking play PlayStation and pop Norcos, and I was just like, well, he had one day. I was like, holy fuck, dude! Like, how many of these things are you taking? It was just like a post-work. That was his wind down. Was just fucking pop these things. I was like, bro.
Yeah, and they're so fucking addictive. Like
Crazy.
your body gets used to them so quick, and then you're fucked.
That's gnarly.
Yeah, like, dude, like, I used to do some crazy shit to get them when the doctors didn't want to prescribe them anymore.
Really?
I actually ended up ordering stuff online, coming from fucking Colombia and shit.
No way.
Yeah, it was bad.
Fuck. How long do you reckon you struggled with it?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. 2 years.
And like you lose those years, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's very hard to be productive, I'm assuming, in those years.
Well, as long as you're on them, no. Like it depends on people, right? People are affected differently by drugs, right? Like for me, like the hydrocodone just makes me the best of myself almost. It's like I'm happy, I want to do things, I'm productive, I'm like I rest better. It doesn't put me to sleep or anything. But when you come off of them, it's when the shit starts, right? That's when it gets really bad. So it got to the point where I was in so much pain that like I didn't care where I was getting it from. Like I had to find some, because the pain was like intolerable. It was so bad. So it was pretty crazy.
And so how did you get off that?
I tried to commit suicide, actually, in 2000, at the end of 2004, yeah, I think.
Really?
Wait, hold on. Yeah, I think it was the end of 2004. So basically, after I stopped racing that year, I told Mish I had to go to France to figure out what the fuck is going on with my back and to get better. And I went to France, and they finally figured out what was wrong with it and stuff. But I was already hooked on Vicodin and stuff back then. And so I went to France, and I did get better. Kind of almost completely got off the narcotics. Came back to the States, but it was still hard, right? Like I was still having a lot of like withdrawal effects, right? But I started writing again and stuff. And like my speed wasn't there, of course. I was going to take some time and stuff, and I wanted to race the East Coast to get more time to get ready, right? And Mitch decided to put me on the West Coast instead. And I wasn't very happy about it. And I think in the end, I think he did it to push me. Like, like sometimes when you, not to push me, maybe, but to motivate me, right? To train hard and stuff.
Put you back against the wall in a way.
Yeah, in a way, right?
Yeah.
The problem is that they kind of had the opposite effect on me. And because I was always like, I always hated letting people down.
Yeah.
As much as I didn't show it, like, because all those people work so fucking hard for you, right? Like, they get up at the crack of dawn in the morning, right? To walk on your bike, to go testing, to get stuff ready. Like, it's all about you, right? And there are only 2 riders on the team, right? Or when there are 4 per circuit, but still, it's a lot of people. Their whole lives revolves on you, right? So when you don't do good, it's hard. It was hard for me when I didn't do good because I always felt like I let everyone down. And just the thought of, I knew I wasn't ready. I knew I was going to struggle and it was going to be bad. And I don't know, and the pain was coming back too. My back pain was coming back again. And I just didn't see any way out. Like, I was pretty much at the end of my rope, basically. And I'm only here today because of my ex-wife, Carly. She's the one that saved my life. But yeah, basically that day I threw out the house. I locked everything. I turned the power off. I think I'd done like 500 pills. I was done.
Really?
Yeah, I was done. Completely done.
Fuck. So it wasn't even a full pain thing. It was almost like you just didn't really see a way to keep living your life.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Yeah, because I didn't see a way to deal with the pain without being on drugs, because how intense it was getting again. I knew I was going to let everyone down. And yeah, I mean, you can say at the end of the day, like suicide is kind of a coward's way out, right? And yeah, I was done. It's very cowardly to do.
Yeah.
And not many people that attempt it get a second chance.
Yeah.
I got really lucky that my ex-wife Carly at the time, she definitely felt something was wrong. She came back to the house, jumped the fence, and she found me on the ground, just almost dead.
No way, dude. I actually had no idea.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And then I was spending like a week in the ER, or not the ER, but
like in intensive care or something.
Intensive care. And I really took that as a second chance.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, like it wasn't a cry for help. I was done. I wanted to end it. Like, there was no other way for me. And so I really took it as a second chance. And that's when I got my shit together. And, but one thing that really helped me is that, so I went to inpatient therapy, right? Because you have to go to inpatient after you try to commit suicide. Like, they don't let you walk out, right?
Yeah.
Was there for a while, and they were giving me that new drug back then, that you give to addicts, basically. So
what was it?
It's called Suboxone.
Okay.
And so you know about methadone?
Yep.
So that one's bad. That one sucks. Like, there was lots of problems with it.
Yeah.
Suboxone is like kind of like the new version of that. That's a lot better, and it's kind of like a miracle drug, to be honest. And that's what they give to drug addicts, that to try to get them off. Because what it does is that it gives your body the amount of narcotics that it needs, but blocks all euphoric effects. So I can't get drunk, for example, even if I wanted to.
Wow.
Yeah. Or if I, smoke weed or try to get drunk, that doesn't work. Or like even like stuff like codeine or heroin or anything like that, right? It just blocks it completely. So I'm afraid to get hurt, because when I get hurt nowadays, well, first of all, I can't take narcotics, because I'll never take them again. But even if I wanted to, they don't do shit.
Because of this drug?
Yeah.
Huh.
So that drug kind of saved my life, because after I left the inpatient place, I started feeling bad again, and I was like withdrawal effects, and I started like being depressed again, and I was like, what the fuck? Because I felt okay in there, right? And then that's when I realized, well, I was, they were giving me that drug every day there, and so I started looking into it and started seeing a psychiatrist that could prescribe it, because back then only certain doctors and psychiatrists could prescribe it, and I started seeing one that put me back on it, and it changed my life. And so I turned my life around, and because it also helps with the pain, which is good. So, and then after that, so that's how I was able to recover from being on narcotics, basically. Like I pretty much had to die.
How many people knew about this?
A lot. Like I wasn't like I was always very open about it, talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't anything that was hidden or anything like that. Yeah. So as many people that would listen to me after that would know. Yeah.
Fuck, that's so heavy, man.
Yeah.
And your wife just had a feeling that something was wrong, and she went back to the house.
Yeah, she went back to the house. If she hadn't, I wouldn't be here today.
Fuck. How do you think about it now when you look back at it?
I don't know. I mean, now I have kids and everything, so it's like unfathomable. Like
unfathomable.
Yeah, unfathomable, right?
Yeah,
It's like back then I didn't have kids yet or anything like that, but now it's like I just feel so lucky that she felt something was wrong and came back, right? Because that wasn't supposed to happen. Like I had turned the power off so no one could get into the house. So
so you really went for it.
I was done. Yeah, I was done.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.